Hello and welcome to another episode of the Aamchi Legends. And this time again, we're coming quite a bit after a break, but we have a legend very much from Mumbai. He, in fact, is related to me. And joining me from Andheri in Mumbai is Anand Yedery, who is the regional head of customer travel and lifestyle, South Asia, Middle East, and Africa. Hi, Anand, and welcome to Aamchi Legends.
Thank you, Santosh. It's both honor and a pleasure to be on your show, actually.
Most welcome, Anand. In fact, I was reading your LinkedIn profile, and you just complete 21 whopping years in Cathay Pacific. How does that feel?
Yeah, it is indeed, a great sense of accomplishment, if I have to say, because when I look back years ago, if you ask me, would I have been in the same organization I don't think so. I would have had an answer then. But yes, these years have flown by, like the aviation industry. And I have to say, that 21 years been a learning journey for me
Hmm.
because, it has been a journey where I started off somewhere at a very basic operational level, where, learned the nuts and bolts of aviation. Having said that, I mean, Cathay is not my first job. I did actually work earlier in different organizations as well. But having said that, in this 21 years of Cathay's journey, yes, that's where and since then I've done various roles in different cities as well,
Yeah.
and different verticals as well. So that's kind of given me a very holistic of aviation business for now.
Okay. So I recall. I mean, my earliest memory of seeing you is maybe a 4-year-old coming and playing with toys in my house. So was it that aviation was always as a career on your mind since then?
Uh, I don't know whether career back then, yes, aircrafts and aviation did fascinate me a lot.
Hmm.
And there has also been a lot of influence in the family as well. So if I have to look back, Kiran Yadri was Airways in those days.
Yeah.
So something that up to him in terms of the kind of travel and that that was associated with his job.
Yeah.
Also, my elder brother Kiran Devi, he was also in travel. He was managing travel agencies back then, early age, just coming out of college. He used to travel quite a lot. And then my eldest brother Ravi was in the Indian Air Force, so from the travel trade per se. But yes, again, somewhere related to aviation in terms of the Indian Air Force. So somewhere aviation had I wanted to see how it would turn out to be,
Yeah.
but never a career that I thought of. I actually
Okay.
stumbled upon it.
Okay. And so was it directly into Cathay after your graduation, or how was this whole career journey?
Yeah, so as soon as I finished my graduation, I actually joined HSBC, a bank in Mumbai, and thanks to Vali Ediri, sister-in-law, she has been working for a long, long time with HSBC. Then
Yeah.
she did, mention that you just graduated. Are you looking for something to get some experience? HSBC in my organization, there is an option
Yeah.
if you would like to. And
Hmm.
yeah, I was more than happy, especially a family which has a banking background because my dad and my uncles all have been part of the public sector banking.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe at that time, maybe I'll end up being in the private sector. But then, of course, life had something else.
So let's double click a bit on your career itself. You actually started off in Cathay, and for that matter, you were in other airlines previously as a customer service agent. So your learnings have been, you made your hands dirty and learned the rope tricks, if I were to put it. How has been the career journey in an aviation sector? The reason I ask you is a lot of our audiences are youngsters who look up to careers in different careers. I think it's important for them to know the kind of efforts one needs to put in, the hard work one needs to put in to reach that level. Maybe if you could double click a bit on that career that you've been pursuing.
I started my journey in the aviation with as doing learning the nuts and bolts.
Hmm.
When I say nuts and bolts, of course, literally not as an engineer. Aviation, as you rightly mentioned, getting your hands dirty. So I did certain roles which actually gave me a good understanding of what the ground reality of aviation is, how operations on ground works.
Yeah.
And that meant, when you are traveling, you see, the flight, on ground, a lot of activities that happens, but nobody who's as a traveler would really know what goes behind.
Hmm.
Right at the aircraft, there are so many people around, running around, getting your bags in, to making sure that the aircraft is cleaned, and the aircraft is ready for passengers to be on board. So that's the first part of my job that I learned when I joined Jet Airways way back then. And then, of course, doing the check-in services and so many other things. So a lot of hard work, a lot of patience is required, because I realize now a lot the generation that is coming out, is always looking for quick wins.
Yeah, the Insta
I think
generation.
exactly. So I think, yes, there are a lot of low-hanging fruits out there. You want to have quick wins, but at the same time, if you are out there in an industry wanting to sustain long, I
Yeah,
think I would say know the crux of the business very, very well,
yeah.
so that as you grow up the ladder, it gives you a complete understanding of how your business really works. I think the initial part of my career has been really, really uh, useful for me. And especially, even as I said, as I moved to different departments, it gave me a complete glimpse of what different businesses are, how different departments are run. So that today, when you are sitting there and trying to manage the entire portfolio, which has coordination with different departments and different sides of the business.
I'm very sure there's always that, as they say, any Amchi Bhanap always has that Talmakiwadi connection. And I know you've been visiting Wadi. Uh, what are your early memories of Talmakiwadi, if you remember? And when was the last you visited?
Absolutely, as you rightly mentioned earlier, 4 years since then. I mean, I think much before that, as a toddler, I used to to Wadi with my parents and my family. Uh, because of course, we have most of our relatives
Relatives.
there, all the Bappas and Pachis and everyone. Also, I think my fondest memory of Talmaki Wadi is coming during Diwali, participating in all those drawing art, art,
Competitions.
competitions, and of course, I wasn't there in any of these dance and
The
many other
stage shows.
activities in the
Yeah.
evening, the stage shows that used to happen in the evening.
Yeah.
But I often used to accompany my brother, who was a very active member in Talmakiwadi those days. And I remember sitting in the audience and enjoying his performances and so many other things. So yeah, that's my very, very fond memory of Talmakiwadi. When's the latest I've been? I think maybe a year. Try and find some time whenever there's an occasion to make sure that I visit there and also visit our relatives.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Anand Yedery, Regional Head of Customer Travel and Lifestyle with Cathay Pacific, South Asia, Middle East, and Africa. Thank you so much for being with us on this edition of Aamchi Legends. Truly wonderful to have you. All the very, very best in your career.
Thank you. Thank you again, Santosh, for having me on your show, and all the very best for all the podcasts that you've been doing. I really enjoy and look forward to, watching those, and wish you good luck as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And well, guys, with that, we come to the end of this episode of the Aamchi Legends. Another legend coming up on another episode. But for now, from me, Santosh Sirur, also my co-producer, Samir Halari, who's been very instrumental in hosting this podcast and producing and marketing that. And of course, my guest, Anand Yedery. Thank you so much for being on this podcast, Aamchi Legends. Bye-bye and take care.